What's the actual process of bonds and a hearing and getting out?
Okay, so when you get arrested and you get charged with a crime, you the first time you go to court is first appearance. And at first appearance, if you are not charged with a serious violent felony, like one of what we call Georgia's seven deadlies, then that judge, it's a magistrate judge at that point, can set a bond for you. Sometimes they won't. Like you may get charged with something serious that's not a seven deadly, like maybe a couple ag assaults and some drugs,
Yeah.
and you got a criminal history, and they won't set it, and you have to hire an attorney or have your public defender file a motion for bond. So let's say you went to first appearance and you either were not eligible for bond because it was one of the seven deadlies, or they didn't set you a bond because of the crime. It was you had a criminal history and you ag and they're like, I don't want to touch this. Let's get you in front of a superior court judge who's going to have jurisdiction over the case, and let's
Right.
see if they'll set you a bond. So after that, you have to have an attorney file a motion for bond for you. So you file the motion, and then they schedule you a hearing. Everybody has a right to a bond hearing. So when you go, and people think, and I'm glad we're talking about this, because people just hear the crime and hear some facts or some alleged facts, because nothing is proven at this point. It's early in the case. And they think, oh, why did he get a bond, or he shouldn't have, or he should have got a bond. So, and I hate that. So, and bond hearings are my jam. They are my favorite thing to do, and I am
Favorite?
Yes, and I'm really good at them, if I do say so myself.
I know who to call.
That's right. So it's four factors, and that is it. They are not, by law, they're not supposed to really give too much weight to the nature of the crime, right? So you got to keep that in mind when you're doing a bond hearing. So the factors are: do you pose a significant risk? And it has to be significant. You got to
Right.
pay attention to words. A significant risk of fleeing, because if that word's not in there, everybody's at risk of fleeing.
Right,
You
right,
can let me
right.
out, and I'll never come back. I never
That
come
that
back.
would be considered like maybe how much money you got. Can you buy a jet and leave if you want
Right.
to? Got you.
So the first factor are: do you pose a significant risk of fleeing the jurisdiction, and will you come back to court when you're ordered to? So they look at your finances. How long have you lived in the county that you've been arrested in, or in Georgia? Do you have family here? Like, are you married with children? Do you have ties to the community that is going to keep you here, and that you're going to go back to court? So they consider, do you got a passport? Do you own land in California where you can just go?
Right.
So different things. The next one is, do you pose a significant risk of, are you a danger to the community or to a person or to property? And the way they determine that is they look at your criminal history. Like, are you out here committing crimes? Do you have a long criminal history? And they do look at the nature of the crime there. So they're like, okay, if this is like, if you've been arrested for like a spree of crimes, they're like, okay, you've been arrested like 4 different charges on 4 different days,
Right.
for the same thing kind of, and they're like, okay, if we let you out, you may do the same thing, or you got a criminal history, and it shows that, like, let's say it's a person that has a drug problem, they're like, if I let you out, you're probably gonna get arrested for drugs again,
Got
because,
you.
so. And the next one is, do you pose a significant risk of committing a felony pending trial? And again, they look at your criminal history. Do you have any felony convictions on your record? And then the last one is, if we let you out, will you obstruct justice? Or intimidate a witness. So if you have co-defendants in the case, will you go tell your co-defendant you need to take this charge?
Got you.
Or
Got you.
if there's victims, are you going to go to the victims and intimidate them?
So it's not about black or white sometimes. 'Cause I know a lot of times I be seeing that. That's what they be posting, like, a black person do this, a white person do this. But now you say that,
Yes.
it's kind of different.
It is very different. So people can be charged with the same crime, like, and if you're on probation, that is because even if you get a bond, you're not going to be released because you have that probation hold. But if you're already on probation and you're asking for bond, the judge is going to be like, somebody else gave you a bond, or it could have been the same judge gave you a bond and you're on probation and gave you a second chance, and you are out here still, you're still out here doing things. So that weighs heavily.